So I just have something I need to share with empaths because you are very powerful. We are very powerful people. And understand you're going to come across a lot of different energies that are going to affect you. As you meet these energies, you basically harness these because you get around people, and if you don't shield yourself, then they consume you. Where, say, you were in a really good, happy go lucky mood, you got around somebody that was going through something heavy, and all of a sudden you're depressed. It's like when I was in South America, we were staying in this Airbnb, and I was in a good mood. And then all of a sudden, I felt this really heavy energy like someone had died. Well, the guy that owned the Airbnb had disappeared for a little bit, and I met him, or I saw him the next day and found out that someone had passed away. And it was funny, he wasn't even there, but I guess since it was his home, that energy was there, or I was connected to him from being so close in contact with him for so long. So the point of that illustration is for you to understand that when things start changing and nothing changed in you, there's something you're tied to that is affecting you. So I've been starting to learn and understand on my own that I've been meeting different people for a reason. And I always ask their sign. I don't know why I started doing this, but I've met a Sagittarius that was tied to a Leo. I've met Capricorns. I've met other Aquarians. I've met Scorpions. So when it comes down to it, Leo is a symbol of strength. Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. So at that moment in my life, I wasn't aware of why I was meeting these energies. They weren't necessarily people, but they're energies that are embodied in people. So I now understand that I've met these energies with the concept that I'm harnessing these energies, and it's helping me to get through the different houses. You have 12 houses in the zodiac. So each house symbolizes something different. One is health, one is wealth, just look into it. So you go on through these houses, which is basically a year, a time that we have set up. So going through these houses, different energies can affect you in that moment. So say we're going into a time of rebirth and you meet a Scorpion, if you harness that energy, it helps you overcome past trials and tribulations, trauma that you've been through, evils that have come your way, hexes, curses, bad juju, basically. So if you're not aware that you're harnessing these energies and they're affecting you, you're going to feel like you're in a washing machine. Things are in a whirlwind. So as I started to understand more and more that, oh, okay, these energies are here for me to borrow, for me to, it's almost like that, I can't remember the name of the movie, but they go into the video game and they all have special skill sets, and then they have things that they're allergic to, and then they have things that will help them. So you meet helpers along the way, and it might not seem like they're helpers because their energy is not vibing with you. So if you can step outside of the logical path of thinking and look at it more on an energetic scale of, oh, okay, I met you to understand this energy so that I can walk through this house easier. And I hope you're following me here. So, like I said, this is a message more for empaths that understand when their energy is affected and it's not them. And even if you're new to understanding who you are, because I didn't know that I was an empath till about 6 years ago. And when I figured out I was an empath, I was living with a narcissist. So their energy had actually consumed me into basically an existential crisis, a spiritual awakening, because I didn't know what was going on within me. I was feeling urges and things that I had not felt before. I was feeling hostile and bitter and vindictive, and I've never been that kind of person. So I started understanding how the narcissist works by basically almost becoming one and then realizing what I was, and then going, oh, that's not my energy, and then cleansing and purging and cutting ties with that. And sadly, I had been with that person 16 years, so I was very much out of my own character while I was living my life. So if you are at a point, at a crossroads, and you're starting to understand that energy affects you on a level so much that you're more comfortable being alone than you are in a crowd, I hope this will help you, because like I said, I'm just now figuring this out for myself. And being an empath is a superpower. I don't know if you know that being intuitive and being um, very deep in your feelings and your emotions and helping others to reflect on their own behaviors, and you mirror back their behaviors to them, as hard as it is for us as empaths, because it's like we take on different roles, we put on different hats, we have to behave different ways until we learn to shield and protect ourselves. And these are practices you need to learn if you haven't started learning them. And um, it's something that takes practice, but I promise you, you can learn to shield and protect yourself. And I'll try to make a video at one point to share things that I've learned about how to basically put on invisible armor that allows you to, I'm rubber, you are glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Something that will help you no longer be feeling like you're being attacked. Because when you feel like you're being attacked, you're more so in an egotistical mindset, not in the spiritual mindset. So as an empath, that's more of a spiritual aspect of life. It's not ego driven, because as empaths, we want to see people heal and recover and move forward in love and light. And that's an empath that's more in alignment with their true purpose, not not necessarily somebody who's dark and is manipulative in regards to what they can gain from the energy that they're using. So, like I've said several times, we all share um, energy basically. It's like if you bump into somebody, and the more asleep you are, I'm saying the lower vibing you are, the more susceptible you are to the lower vibing energies. You know, the Jezebel spirit, the hateful spirit, the things that are here to use this vessel in a manner that's more for the sole purpose of entertainment and getting ahead, not caring how you get there. The lower vibing you are, you're going to meet those spirits. And those spirits are very hard to get out of you once they've attached to you. And that's where empaths come in. When you're on that positive aspect and you've learned to kind of control your energy in a way to where, say, you can tap in or borrow someone else's energy and then you dust it off, right? But when you do borrow and tap into these energies, make sure that you're not tapping into something that's on the negative vibration scale, because when it comes to an energy um, that's working out of its shadow side, you're going to meet more of the shadow aspects of that sign. You know, like I said, you've got the Aquarians, the Scorpions, you've got the Sagittarians, Leos. You keep going on. You have earth, fire, wind, and water. The elements, you have the four elements that help you through certain houses that you're going to continue to go through. So I know this is a lot of information, and to a lot of people, it's probably like, what the hell is she talking about? But for those of you that know, you have an understanding of what I'm talking about. And these are like little breadcrumbs to help you continue to further in your healing and empower yourself to where you're using your energy on a positive level, to where you can actually help heal others and help the world itself begin to evolve and grow in a more constructive mindset, because we're changing paradigms. Like I said in other videos, we're coming out of controlling, constrictive, gimme sort of energies to more of a free flowing, sharing, caring union that hasn't been around in a very long time. You know, that energy that wants to see others prosper, move forward, and be abundant with their life. Not something that says you're here to be born, eat, sleep, work your life away, and then die. Instead, we're here to start building something great to leave markers for generations to come to go, wow, they were powerful people. And it's kind of like our predecessors have done for us already. We still have proof of the past that shows that there was a time period where people were unified and they were working together. And that's when the world was abundant, prosperous, and people were traveling and being able to communicate from thousands from across the world. So if we get back into that energetic concept of realizing that we're really powerful in number and that we're capable of healing certain aspects overnight, if we can get back into that, then we are driving ourselves to a more prosperous future instead of the decline that we're on, where we have trash heaps and wasted space and concrete jungles and people in competition and everyone just fighting for their piece of the pie. So in the end, when you live in that mindset, there's not enough for everybody. There's a lack mentality. So like I said, if you are one of these individuals that do borrow energy, I want you to start protecting yourself for one, know what you're tapping into. And if I'm speaking to empaths, you feel the vibe. You understand when something's not right because you feel it, right? You're going to feel it right here. You're going to know that something is telling you something's not right. And it's an energetic concept because when you walk into that static, that murky nature, compared to that, like a bottle of champagne, that fizzy bubble feeling of, oh, things are good. You know the difference of what you're walking into, but also understand as an empath, when you walk into the room, you want to shift the energy around you rather than the energy is affecting you and you feel bogged down. And I remember early on, before I even knew who I was, I would walk into a room and I would start sweating. I would start I don't know why I feel this way. I don't want to be here. And I would rush to get out of the room rather than stand in my power and watch the room shift around me. And my mom used to tell me, you walked in, the party's here now, like the good vibe. And I never understood what that meant until I got older and I see it now. But with this gift comes a lot of haters because as empaths, energy automatically is drawn to us no matter what energy it is. So then you have the abusers, the users, the haters. You do also have the soul tribe that's just like you, that wants to help you feel inspired and pat you on the back and make you feel loved, to help you grow and empower you in your gift, because that part of your soul tribe, they know their task as well. And then when you get on that same level, you actually build a community that is very supportive to one another, that helps others heal and can actually return to one another and say, oh, I can see you had a hard time, and give you a hug and kind of share that energy, transmute it, and send it off. Because not everybody has the same abilities. Not everybody gets the same gifts, but share your gifts with the world. And like I said in the very beginning, and I said it a couple times, and I'll keep reiterating, this message is basically for empaths to start understanding that you're not being attacked. You're actually being allowed the chance to borrow. And when you can borrow with an open heart, you can send out love and light, and you can actually almost watch it spread everything like a blanket of love. So when you start seeing that, you can see the ripple effect in the community around you. If you start noticing your mood shifting, pay attention to what's going on around you. If you're in a more positive mindset, you're going to notice people are more positive. If you're in a more giving mindset, you're going to find people are giving to you. If you're in a toxic down mindset, you're going to start noticing people slamming doors, cussing, traffic's bad, everything's backed up. You start feeling more victimized and angry inside. So if you're feeling that shift within yourself and you're noticing it around yourself, recenter yourself. Woosah. Return to yourself and then go, okay, I'm back in alignment. Recalibrate yourself and then present yourself back to the world, but more in a controlled manner for yourself. And we're not looking for perfectionism. We're not looking for Mr. and Miss Perfect doing everything to appease everyone else. No, don't be a people pleaser, because then you're in a toxic energy. But also don't be a user and abuser, because you're in a toxic energy. You have levels on each side. You want the scales to be balanced, and how that you're utilizing that energy and what you're returning back to the world. I hope this made sense to somebody, and I'm really hoping that it starts helping everyone start to understand you're not being targeted, you're not being put down. You're actually finding how powerful you really are and how you can use it. So, sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.